13. The Water Expert. June 28th to 29th, 2018. On Thursday, June 28th, a young man named Tanet Natisi arrives at the park entrance to Tamluang. It's only a tenth of a mile up the road to base camp, but it takes his car more than an hour to get there. Trucks carrying equipment and supplies clog the road. Military personnel, rescue workers, and journalists are packed tightly together in the small parking lot outside the headquarters building. The ditch alongside the road is practically a creek, filled with thousands of gallons of water being pumped out of the cave. This water is Tanet's reason for being here. Tanet is an American citizen living in Marion, Illinois, who was born in Thailand. Like many immigrants to America, he has worked hard doing a lot of different jobs. He is currently an architecture student, a restaurant owner, and, as of recently, a water expert. He learned about working with groundwater, water that exists in the soil and rock underground, from his father-in-law, who owns an engineering company in Thailand. Tanet and his father-in-law were working on a project near Bangkok to refill depleted water reservoirs when they got the call from the Thai army to help with the water situation at Tamluang. When Tanet finally reaches base camp, he checks in with the person who called him to Tamluang, Army Colonel Singhanat Losuya. But Colonel Singhanat hardly has time to speak with him. The Prime Minister, General Prayut Chan-o-cha, is coming, and everyone is scrambling to get things in order for the head of Thailand's government. Busy and flustered, Colonel Singhanat asks Tanet to go help the team investigating drilling into the mountain to find the boys. When Tanet finds the drilling team, he's shocked to discover that the only maps they have are two-dimensional, which means they don't contain any information about how high the mountain is or what it looks like inside. It can take days to drill through limestone, so the team has to find the thinnest place between the surface and the cave. For that, they'll need highly specialized seismic mapping equipment. That night and most of the next day, Tanet darts around the camp, asking one official after another to put in the order for the equipment, but he can't get anyone to listen to him. Tanet feels so frustrated. Without a proper map, finding the boys inside the mountain is like finding a needle in a haystack made of solid rock. But he can't just sit there doing nothing. He has come to the mountain to help, and he's not going to leave just because things have gotten difficult. He has to find a different way. It was water that brought him here in the first place, so Tanet decides to turn his attention to the water. Millions of gallons of water are gushing out of the pipes at the main entrance of Tamluang. At this point, every pump the Thais have been able to find is stationed at the opening, sucking up water and dumping it out of the cave mouth. It's not working. The rains have stopped now, but the water inside the cave remains as high as ever. With that much water, the current is ferocious, much too dangerous to dive through. Tanet knows that they won't make a dent in the water levels by using only the pumps they have now. The cave's catchment area, or the area that catches the rainfall and drains it into the mountains, is more than 10,000 acres, 40.5 square kilometers. The current pumping operation is similar to trying to drain a child's swimming pool with a straw while the hose is on full blast. Tanet knows that the ground underneath the cave is completely saturated, like a wet sponge. Any more water that flows into the system will have nowhere to go except into the cave passages. If they want to lower the water levels in the cave, they need to suck some of that groundwater out from the bottom. That will make room for the water in the flooded passages to sink into the earth, and it might lower the levels enough to send in divers. Tanet has searched his maps for any other places where water flows out of the mountain. He sees that there is another cave nearby at a lower elevation called Sai Tong. There, a creek flows out of the cave mouth into a small pond. Colonel Singhanat tells Tanet that local people say the two caves are connected to each other. If that's true, the water in Tamluang could be drained out through the pond at Sai Tong. When Tanet arrives at Sai Tong Park, he finds the pond in front of the cave entrance. The pond is usually a calm, lovely blue-green color, but today it is gurgling up, filling with brown water. This is great. The water must be coming from Tamluang. The two caves must be connected. Tanet wants to drill under the pond, widening the openings where the water is gurgling out so that they can pump more water away from the cave. Now he just needs drills. In a happy stroke of luck, a group of groundwater engineers happen to overhear Tanet's conversations at base camp about pumping out the groundwater. These engineers are also looking for ways to make themselves useful, and they offer up their equipment, 15 drilling rigs, for Tanet to use at Sai Tong. It is now 9 p.m. Tanet has been working for 15 hours straight, but there is no rest for the weary. He gives the go-ahead to start drilling. The next morning, the Thai army assigns 400 soldiers and members of the Groundwater Well Association of Thailand to assist him. Finally, he has a team of people who can help him get things done. With his team in tow, Tanet begins to drive back to Sai Tong Pond. On the way, he sees a vehicle parked on the side of the road that looks like a cross between a rocket ship and a drag racer. Slow down, he tells his driver. Tanet hops out of the truck and greets the men standing with the vehicle. They are farmers from central Thailand, and the funky rocket ship on wheels is a homemade super pump. On the central plains of Thailand, farmers have a lot of problems getting enough water to their crops. During the hot, dry season, they assemble homemade pumps to pull water out of nearby rivers and canals for their fields. Years of innovation, and a little competition among neighboring farms, have resulted in some of the fastest, most efficient pumps in the country. Their souped-up pumps can move 1.6 million gallons of water, more than 6,000 cubic meters, an hour at full capacity. That's a lot of water. This is Thai ingenuity at its finest. The Thai people have a well-earned reputation for making things with whatever they have at hand. The homemade super pumps are nicknamed Paya Na, after a magical water beast in Thai mythology. The farmers explain that they've driven more than 500 miles, 800 kilometers, to help out, and have been sitting at the roadside for days, hoping to be of use to the rescue. But so far, no one has taken them up on their offer. Tanet smiles. If you guys want a job, I have just the job for you.